Welcome to the Bookworm Bindery with Cathy-Lynn. I am still working on the Mermaid junk journal. We are on part 6, and we are going to work on getting several pockets and tucks covered, and then we may or may not get them into the book in this particular part, but I'm going to try. So I'm starting with this really amazing shell out of a book that I had on seashells, and I have started utilizing this for its stunning pictures. And so what I wanted to do with this is reinforce it on a piece of this lightweight chipboard. It's much lighter weight than, say, a cereal box or a cracker box, but it does a nice job for reinforcing book pages. And that was a beautiful shell. Yeah, that's okay. This one is stunning just in its size, or its shape, what have you. So let me see. I'll stick it over here. So what I'm going to do now, I don't know whether you have run into issues trying to find a glue stick that you like. Maybe you've got one that you like, but I had started using the Scotch Create permanent glue stick. It was what Pam at the Paper Outpost had recommended, and then that was my first video, the videos that Pam put out, and then from there her recommendations took me to Nick the Booksmith, and Nick the Booksmith also recommended that. And then this past year Scotch stopped making it. Every time I ordered like 3 times in a row, you know, hoping to get an actual Create instead of getting the white permanent. And I found that it was wetter. I checked with Scotch. I called and asked, and there was a nice lady who answered the phone, and she said, "I don't know. Let me put you on hold and see who I can find to answer this question." And she came back and said that no, the Create has been discontinued, at least for now. She said it might come back, so keep your eyes out, but that they were just going with the permanent white glue stick at the time. I didn't like it. I found it was wetter. It caused my papers to buckle. And an interesting thing is that once it completely dried out, the waviness or the buckling was nominal. But as soon as the rains hit during our monsoons, and they started a little early this year, well, the monsoons didn't start early, but we had late spring, early summer rains that aren't normal for us. And it doesn't never happen, but it's not normal. And all of those pages that I had used that on warped up again. And so I tried the Yoo-Hoo, and I found that it was just about the same. Okay, we're looking. That's going to be a little long, but that's okay. It'll be easy enough to shorten. So let's go in here somewhere. Oh, this is, I know, I'm going to keep doing this too, but this is a piece of the tracing paper, and when you lay it over another piece of artwork, it just makes it absolutely stunning. So I'll be fascinated to see what it is that Stephanie actually does with the with those pages. So I'm doing a bit of pocket work, a little bit of decorating, not much. And then when Stephanie gets this in her hot little hands, she will, okay, she will have it to decorate and put all of her collection of mermaid things in. Yep, that's going to work well. So basically the idea here is to glue it in. Make sure that you can actually see what I'm talking about. I'll glue it in on this side, all along this edge and along this side, and then it will make a shallow tuck, but definitely a tuck that you could put a nice sized piece of paper in or something. So I did trim that down a little bit more. This top edge is a torn edge, and so it's okay to me if it sticks off a little bit, but I don't want it to become a huge mess. So yeah, no, it'll be just fine. Okay, so now let's get the glue. Oh, that's the thing. Do I want it this way? Or do I want it this way? Okay, this is the bottom of the book. Do I like it like that? Do I like it like that? I actually think I like it like that. Okay, fine. That's what I'm doing. Okay. And the client wouldn't ever know there was a question until she watched this video, which she's been watching them, so now she'll know there was an option, and hopefully she won't be disappointed in my choices. Okay. All right, so I'm going to slip this down on the edge. And then lift it up and separate it from the page beneath it, as we do not want to close those together. Oh, that's nice. You'll move back. And we'll just slide it down because we want it truly on the edge of the page. And edge of the page here. Great. And then again, separate it from the page under it that I just kind of glued it onto. Good. No signs. And then, once it's glued, you've got a really nice size tuck. Okay, so there's that. Nice. Okay, next. Let's see. If I sort of want this to dry, maybe I shouldn't close it. I'm just going to set it over here to the side. So when I can't find it, you can just tell me, it's off to the right. Okay. So the next thing that I wanted to do was this corner tuck, and I have to bring the book back because it's not really a corner tuck, it's a diagonal tuck. And I placed one, I have to find it. Okay, this one is in the third signature. Seriously? Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, this one is in the first signature. So if we put the next one, let's see, there's this one in the second signature, and it's on the right hand page. And I had mentioned when I was doing this one in the previous video, or actually maybe it was in, yeah, I don't know now. It could have been in part 4A or B. It could have been in 15. 15. Oh my gosh. I hope there's not 15 parts. 5. So I'm going to want to put it on this side, you know, just for interest. So this is the side I need to decorate, and I'm going to collage it with these mermaids. So I need to keep in mind this is the side that I'm going to collage. I'm not putting it here. I just wanted to be able to see. Okay, and I've closed it. That's okay. All right, we're working down a stack. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, knowing that it's going to go like this, I need to put mermaids so that they're kind of facing up and down. At least that's my preference. So I'm going to start by doing a cut there. We will have to trim this because it is a rough cut, but okay. So as we move along, this will fit here. Obviously, I'm going to have to put something down here, and that's quite fine because, you know, it's a collage. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and glue this into place. I'm not going to worry about these white marks because I'll put something over them. Right. And I'm not going to take this quite to the edge because I know that this is sticking off. I say that and then I put it almost to the edge. Well, you know, it's just glue. I'll wipe it off. Okay. Good. All right. So as she sits, it's sort of this angle. She's not too weirdly slanted. All right. Then let's see. I'm not sure about using her because here's her head. I love this. It's a beautiful drawing. It looks like maybe it was done with maybe oil chalk. Anyway, it's here, but her tail comes way over. So let's go with this one. She's sitting at a slightly different angle, and then I want to use her. They're all actually very, very cool. These were found in my print shop on my computer. I just put in mermaids, and this is a selection of what came up. So now I think what's going to happen here, I think to cover this white, I will slant it ever so slightly. And if I grab a pencil, I'm going to drop this down a little lower than I want it to be. But this tells me where to put the glue, and I'm going to put the glue on this, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't go quite to her head, and then I can put this down and I can cut off the excess of the paper. So okay, I do know that it goes all the way to the bottom of that white. Okay, so ever so slightly at an angle. And then I'm just going to wipe away. Okay. I'm sure I'm not the only one who does the, I meant to ink that. Get caught up in the logistics of your practice and forget. And I'm sure I did not invent this. I didn't see anybody else do it, but I have a really effective way, I find, to ink those edges that have already been on papers that have already been glued in. Oh, come off. Okay. Get rid of these little guys. And that is to take a piece of paper and I butt it up against the piece of paper that I need to ink. I guess I'm using green because that's what was right here. And then I brush up against it, catching the excess on this page rather than down here. and managing to nicely enough ink. And that should be hidden, but I'll go ahead and ink along this edge and this edge and this edge. That's going to be covered up. I'm not going to worry about it. And this edge. Let's throw a little sea foamy stuff out here. Need some more ink. I'm going to have to dab it. Okay. So while she's sitting up on a rock, she is diving into the water. And then from here, ooh, let's see if we can get this lovely lady. And it looks like, from the looks of it, I can get most of her. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so we're letting the fan of her tail come up this point. It won't go all the way up, but that's going to be just fine. And I'm not going to be able to follow this line directly, or I won't get that. Yeah, it's going to be close. Okay, I'm going to cut this gently along this line. I am cutting it out a little wider so that I don't cut my actual structural band, but even if I did, by the time you ink it, no one would ever notice. Okay, so let's cut some of that off. We'll worry about this later. I might want to use this up at the top. Let's set this here. I don't know. I don't know, but we'll find out in a sec. Okay, how far down are you coming? Okay, I'm going to start. So I don't want her to lay over the top of this one, but we may have to make some concessions somewhere. Okay, let's see. If this lays here, I'm okay with this being white because I can just ink it in with the green. It'll just blend nicely enough. But this can come up. You know, I think I'm going to actually follow this line. Nope, I needed to follow this. Okay, let's see how that works. Yeah, that has a nice flow to it. And then as this comes up, okay, yay. Okay. So my push pen being red makes it very helpful to find. I've only lost 2 of them, never to be found. I usually keep an extra one right here so that if I can't find that one, I can grab another one and stick it in my glue so it doesn't dry out. And that's great until this was actually the last one. I've kept my eye on it a little bit better, knowing that there's not a backup over here. Mind you, I have some in my desk. It's not like I have to go to the store and buy more. I just have to go into the other room and get some out of my desk. Okay. But you know, sometimes that journey is really difficult, and if you're in the middle of something, there's just no way you can do that. Oh my gosh, that is pretty. She is also angled, but I don't feel like that's a big deal. I think it just gives us a feeling of motion. Now, I think, you know, I think what we're going to do is we're going to try just inking that, maybe. So let's start with this, because this is what I really see. That just blends it so nicely. And yes, you can tell that there was an end of the artwork there, but it's fine. And now, I'm just going to do a little bit of swirlies. Yeah, That'll be good. A little darker here, a little lighter there. It stands out as a little odd because the tail of the fish came up into the blue, but that's okay. I'm not going to fret. Like that word, fret. Okay, now let's find out what we're going to put down here. I wonder if we can put this ocean wave Let's try it. I don't really want the blue. Okay, I'm going to take this ocean wave. I'm going to see. It's okay. If it doesn't work out, I could always print more, but I want to. I want to use what I got. So if this comes up here, and this gets cut out and comes down here, just put my fingernail there, and you can pretend that you don't see that blue. I don't know what you're looking at there, but this can come here. Yep, so this needs to get cut here. And then this needs to get cut out. Do you like to do fussy cutting, or do you really hate it? Do you do everything you can not to have to do fussy cutting? And then really in turn, if you do fussy cutting, or if you're willing to do it, if you like to do it, do you prefer scissors with a long blade or something with a shorter blade? This little guy with his shorter blade. I personally find that I'm more comfortable using the longer blade. And at some point that kind of caught my attention. And so I went to see what other people were doing in their YouTube videos, and I see it all. So what do you like? Put it in the comments. Let's kind of open a discussion here and find out. As long as it cuts, I suppose it's fine either way. Maybe you're not even a fussy cutter and you're just like, I'm happy enough just tearing it. That's good too. It is good too. Okay. So I'm going to move that over there. I'm going to hope that I can hold it steady while I'm doing this, because the glue, of course, is not dry. What? Wait for the glue to dry? Are you crazy? That would be so responsible. Okay. I have these little shavings. I don't know about you. I think I'm just going to throw this away. Okay. I guess that's something else we could put down in the comments, is whether you would have kept that little tiny piece of paper. Had some beautiful color on it. Really did. And there may come a day when I'm like, oh, I just need a little tiny bit of sea foam. And I'll remember this conversation and your comments, and yeah. Okay. So there's that. Yay. And here's our book. We're going to go back into the third signature. Those sure turned out pretty, didn't they? And we're going to put a corner tab, corner tuck. Oh, there's no reason that that's stuck together. It wasn't stuck together. Okay, it's got to go on this side. So I'm thinking I'm putting it here. What do you think? So pretty. All right, let's get the glue, which really, I don't suppose I needed to thumbtack it. And let's get this put in here. So the fact of the matter is that I did lay things out in advance, pulled together what I wanted, kind of made a decision as to what I was using for what project before I ever came on this to talk with you. And we are just coming up on the 25-minute mark of this video, and I have done one page edge, turning it into a tuck, and one diagonal tuck. So you can see that that will hold an actually nice big, again, big piece of paper, a nice large journal card or tag. So pretty, so fun. And I think if I weren't working around the book, and if I weren't kind of stopping and showing you little things, I don't think I would have gotten more than one more thing done in this time. It's a time-consuming process. And sometimes people don't realize that, you know, when they look at our hard work, and they'll say, "It took you how long to work on that?" And I don't know. I don't suppose it's really that they think that you're fibbing, but they can't see it. They can't see the time that you put into the project and realize how much blood, sweat, and tears and indecision goes into our craft. Okay, so I've been looking at this for days. This was the leftover paper that covered the inside, back, and front of my journal covers. So I had made this cute little guy, in case you didn't see the first one yet. I just cut out this from the fabric that covers the book, and then I just mounted it on a piece of cardstock, and you can see I had used it to do some inking, like edges or what have you, so it's got some odd colors, but you know what? It's going to get glued down. No one's ever going to see that. Okay, and then I'm going to nestle that in and amongst these glittery, shiny dots, which we could say are air bubbles. It could be a fissure down a little bit deeper in the ocean than where this seahorse is doing a little bit of free swimming. I don't know where his kelp or other seaweeds and stuff are, corals that he would normally hang on to. Okay, this is too wide. So the concept here is to use this as another page edge. I want to do it in this section, and I'm going to do it on this music. I'm going to cover the name of the music that I cut this out of. It's a holiday one, and so I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. I'm going to cut away this edge, which is really, really pretty, but it is not, it's not going to stay here. And I think I'm just going to use this ruler with its cork back and do some tearing. Let's see if I can get this to all lay flat, straight, not flat. I'm going to even it up on the up and down, and I'm going to even this up on the side to side, put some pressure in and tear, and hopefully not whack the camera, but I may have. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same. Yep, whacked the camera stand anyway. I'm going to do the same on this edge. I can bring that in a little bit. Again, I really would like to keep it kind of flat. So I'm sure, well, I can see, I'm not so sure you can see, but I'm going to assume you can, that there are these dots that are glittery. And I want you to know I did not do that glitter. I already had a disclaimer in the first section. I didn't do that. But it's so beautiful. It really is so beautiful. I'll go and ink this so that it doesn't have that odd white look to it. But now I need to measure this and see sure, I just lost my page. There it is. How long I need it actually to be. Turn that round and round, making it dizzy. can do this, but we'll try. I'm gonna see if I can't just, ha-ha! Oh, good. This down here is a little bit long. So again, we're going to have a page edge. It will make a nice tuck here. And I'm just sticking with the green because it's so handy. And it actually works well because this glimmery, glittery, it's like iridescent paint. And it has a green tinge to it. So we're just keeping it all kind of along the same lines of green on the edges. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay, so I'll get that glued down, and then I think that's what we're going to get done for this particular video. Goes here. And then we'll do another one with the next corner tucks and pockets. I have several nice mermaid digitals that I got from, well, I know I got at least one of them from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Did I really do that? Why, yes. Yes, I did. Okay. I guess I'm not putting it there. I guess I'm putting it on this side because that's where I put the glue. Some days, you know, some days. So it's going to go here. And we're going to glue that down again. Don't want it to stick to the page behind it. I do need to move it out to the edge. Nice. And then this edge down here, I'm just going to cut that away. And there. Good. Okay. Now because I cut that away, and there's going to be a little white from the paper that I just glued it onto, we'll go back and we'll touch it up. But just in case there's some edge of the paper on any of this, we'll just touch that up too. And then we'll be like, ta-da! And again, we have a nice pocket to put things in. Okay, I think we're going to call it a day on this particular video, trying to keep them at about 30 minutes. And so this is the end of the number 6. I think we're on number 6. If I am incorrect, I will make note of it in the notes. So make sure you come back because we have more to do on this. Thanks. Have fun.